Hello and welcome to another video made by the casual NFL fan. Same name on Twitter and Blue Sky. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. So I'm gonna do a mock draft just because it's easy content, and why not? Why not? This is before the Combine and Senior Bowl, and I'm gonna try to make it realistic based off of my evals. So more of a D-line guy, help coach it and stuff, and I feel more comfortable with my D line and trenches evals or trench adjacent positions like running back and tight ends. Not gonna like I'm an expert on non D line positions, and for the skinny positions, more referring to what I've seen when watching with other people that are better with those positions. So yeah, shout out a certain penguin. So yeah, let's do this. Titans. They said they're not gonna skip out on generational prospects, so they're gonna go with Shadir Sanders. Sort of just kidding, but it's a weird spot. Like, yeah, they said that, but when it comes down to it, it's just so hard when you don't have a quarterback. And even like a lot of these teams in the top, whatever picks, like with the Titans offense, it wasn't horrible. There's just so much times where they're just driving down the field and then Levis takes a dumb sack or throws it right to a DB or just stuff like that. And that's kind of like the difference between like just an average quarterback and a good or a bad quarterback. It's just like the main thing with being a quarterback is just keeping the offense on time and just staying ahead of schedule. And that's the main thing of running an offense. The best QBs stay on time and on schedule consistently. And a lot of the bad QBs like Will Levis, like he'll like get you off schedule with a sack or bad incompletion or just stuff like that. And it's just hard to run an offense with the QB like that. They've talked with Sanders, kind of just yeah, it's just tough because like I don't think there's any players that are worth the one of one spot necessarily. Like maybe Hunter, but he's kind of small. I mean that's kind of it. Like maybe GNC, but taking a running back first overall, yeah. If it was Saquon though, he'd do it, but yeah, it's tough. Also with quarterback, there's free agents like Sam Darnold and well, Sam Darnold's like the belle of the ball. He's gonna be the main dude. Maybe Matt Ryan hits free agency. Aaron Rodgers if he's not lost in the ayahuasca trip or something. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Like there's gonna be some, I guess, bridge options, and then a starter out there. But it's tough. I think the Browns might be the one that's the most desperate to pay for a quarterback because they just wasted so much years with the quarterback that they gave a huge contract to, that nasty man. So things seem kind of frustrating there. This is a team that's gonna need just a big boy quarterback. I don't think they'd want to go with the rookie quarterback from some of these top teams. Things always change with free agency and all that stuff, but I think this is one that's gonna probably get Sam Darnold or just a bridge quarterback and adult quarterback. So they're gonna get Travis Hunter here. Yeah, he's gonna be more of a wide receiver for him, just because they just need more weapons. Like they don't have a great running back. Their O lines. I mean, the interior is good. Tackles are not. There's different options they could go with, but why not just get a great weapon? He's gonna be more of a wide receiver for him. Might be a bit too small to play heavy cornerback snaps right off the bat, but they don't need him to play cornerback here. Like you have Emerson, Ward, and Newsome, which is a pretty nice trio. So yeah, I mean pairing him with Judy and I mean they probably could re-sign Elijah Moore. Hope they do. Cedric Tillman, it's a fine receiving core. So yeah, whoever is there at quarterback, just get him another weapon. Giants, this is gonna be for my homie Zach. Cam Ward, same thing, just being desperate with the quarterback. I see Dabble and Shane. I don't know how to say his name. Whatever. He doesn't deserve the respect for me to know his name. Their GM, Sean. They might be a bit desperate. They're given an other year. And it's the same thing with the Titans where they just haven't had a real quarterback. They had a functioning offense when you had an elite running back, but when you don't have that running back, it's hard to have a functional offense. And so without that running back that's able to keep you on their offense on time and on schedule, things just fall apart. I can see him just like looking at Ward and being like, yeah, this is a dude that's good enough that we could just have a functional offense with. Now, can he clear the Daniel Jones bar? Maybe. Like Locke was horrible. Had one good game somehow. DeVito's not good, and then Daniel Jones was horrible. Yeah. Don't pay quarterbacks 40 million and hand it off to a running back making 13. So they're gonna draft him high. And Kishon, like he's a weird player or weird GM. He like the moves that they make aren't bad. It's just the big moves end up being bad. Like it's the right thought process, sort of. It's just like why? I think that's what's gonna happen here. Like yeah, like if you need a quarterback, you just take a quarterback. But he might just take a quarterback if there is one, even if it's not the best for the team. I don't know. It's we're GMing. All right, Patriots. Bill Carter. Now, I don't necessarily think Abdul Carter is the most talented edge in the class. I think there's a couple edges that could end up better. Carter is a really great athlete. I think his athleticism is a bit overrated. And like I'm just gonna say I don't care about combine results. Like combine results lie a lot. You can kind of tell how good an athlete is on film. It's just more about checking boxes. So yeah, just gonna say that for now. But he's not like an elite athlete that you could see becoming like that game plan wrecker as an edge. But he's good enough to be an edge that you just let him tee off and give him one-on-ones to. I think he's more, I guess you could say, from like the top edges. He's one of the more technically refined edges with pass rushing. So that's gonna be really nice. Like, yeah, just getting to do that. Could set up one-on-ones for, let him tee off. It's tough because Barmore's out, but you have Keon White, who could give one-on-ones to, and their run defense should be pretty solid too. So it'll be nice. Just get him. All right, Jags. Not gonna go DT. It's a weird situation with their D line. It's like I know I said I was gonna go BPA, but they've invested so much in their D line already. Now, if it was Trent Baalke, probably would have gone with the D line, but I don't know. It's just weird. Like for their edges, you have a whatever he was, like the 17th overall pick, who you're paying big money to, and Josh Hines Allen, a first overall pick in Walker. And like you don't spend a top 5 pick on a third edge. And for the DT spot, you have Eric Armstead, who we paid big money to. But I guess he wanted to play edge more, which kind of odd. And then you have Mason Smith, who's been nice, which is funny. Like play him, and he turns out to be like your second best DT. They drafted Jordan Jefferson to be more of a nose tackle. They have Devon Hamilton, who was a good nose tackle when healthy, which maybe he'll get back to that. Who knows? I feel like I'm missing someone, but none of that. Like you have like 4 DTs you invested a bit into. We'll just go with Will Johnson. This could also be a O line spot. It's just tough slotting these O linemen into. I don't know. Mock drafts hard. It's hard to do mock drafts because usually O linemen go higher than the general consensus thinks. But I mean, yeah, fantasy football just ruins how people see these positions. Because like I doubt this dude is a top 5 pick. Could be wrong, but yeah. So Raiders have Pete Carroll. He's gonna walk in. He's gonna say, "Give me the best player in the draft." Boom, Ashton GNT. So running back. The good thing with running backs are that they can give you more immediate value, and a great running back does a lot for your offense. And I mean, we've seen this. Like we had Josh Jacobs 2 years ago. Offense was semi-functional, and then let him go, and our offense just crumbles. Just having a running back that teams will just game plan against and try to stop just does so much for your team, for your passing game, your run game. There's a lot, and we just see this every single time when a great running back joins a different team. It's like, oh wow, Saquon gets 2,000 yards, even though the O line isn't even close to what it's been the last 2 seasons. Or like Derrick Henry, like makes the Ravens O line functional, even though yeah, their guards were just horrible. So a good running back can make your O line look way better, and they just hop on the passing game because teams will have to account for him more. So yeah, I can see GNC reminding or just Carroll just being like, Kenneth Walker 2.0, Mr. Bounce a lot. He's a good back. Kind of hated because Boise State. Bias against Boise State. But besides that, great player. And why not? Jets. Oof, they have Irving Glenn now. Yeah, Jets are another just tough team. Hmm. The tough thing about mocks too is that whatever you do is gonna change just the rest of the picks, which obvious, but still, it's tough. It's like whatever you do, just changes everything. Yeah, I'm just doing this off the cuff, yeah, just doing this freely. Because like with the Jets, the thought process is you could go with the D line, somewhere on the D line, but it's the same thing with the investment thing where you've already invested so much, especially in the D line with first round pick at edge, another first round pick at edge, Quinnen Williams first round pick. You're paying big money to. So yeah, I can see OT since they're going to be losing Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. I don't know if they would want to be back since I think Rodgers and Adams are going to get cut. They're having a reset year. You know what? Just get the talent. I think Mason Graham is kind of similar to Abdul Carter, where I think there's more talented players that can end up being better. It's just these two dudes are just ready now. Like if you want a pass rusher that could make an impact now, boom, that's Graham. You could do role player stuff too, because I mean you have Quinnen Williams, you're gonna give him one-on-ones. Or you should be giving him most of the one-on-ones. At least Graham could do more to free him up, like whatever you do, just have him be a hold player, could do stuff on stunts, just whatever. Like he's nice in the run game too. I think he has some issues, especially with like disengaging off of blocks, but I mean for the most part, really good player. One of the more like pro ready ones, if you want to say that. And I hate to use like ceiling talk and raw, whatever, but you could just say his ceiling might not be as high as others, but whatever. Floor's high. And yeah, I mean, it'll be nice. It just depends on what defense they do. Which, yeah. Like, are they going to be more of an even front like they've been built? Transition to more of an odd front? Who knows? But yeah, just get talent. Alright, Panthers. This is kind of my favorite pick I've been making. Jamar Stewart. So, if you want to talk about a one-of-one talent, that's what Shamar is. Just what speed, explosiveness, power, if you want to say bend, hip fluidity, just everything you want in an edge, he has it. He's probably going to walk in as a top 5 talent at edge, just right off the bat. And it's like, why isn't this dude getting more hype? He's a one of one type athlete. The main issue is he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, which kind of sucks. He's so talented. And it's not that he doesn't know what he's doing, it's just that in the run game, like, there's some minor things like hand placement and he overplays his gaps. Same thing in the pass game too, where you could tell like, oh, this is your gap before the snap. And he doesn't do much besides just play his gap. When it's like, dude, like you can make a play or like, yeah, you're setting the edge, but running back commits work inside or he's containing on a pass rush, like he's containing. Maybe he's driving the O lineman back right into the QB. It's like you could like toss him aside and get the sack. Like you're in a winning position. There's a lot of plays like that, especially pass rushing wise, where he's in a winning position, he just doesn't win. So if you just get a D line coach, like he's gonna be a D line coach's dream, where it's like, all right, we have this talent, we're gonna find ways to just get him to make plays. He's gonna be so fun, and it's just one of those players where it's like not gonna compare him to Miles Garrett, but like Miles Garrett's like the most technically refined player. Like he's probably gonna walk into the Hall of Fame while maybe being like 80% of what he could be. Lamar's gonna be like testing the bounds of like what percentage you could be at technically and be a Pro Bowler or All Pro for a top tier talent. He's gonna test it. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see how his career goes. And for the Panthers, of course, like same thing. Like their edges were horrible when Derek Brown was out. They had no pass rush, and you can see with the D line where if you have a dude, you set up one on ones for him, and then you build your pass rush around them with some matchup guys and just some guys that can do role player things like contain, stump, push the pocket, maybe speed rush, just stuff like that. They had none of that. None of those like one-on-one guys. It was pretty bad. They had to stump and blitz just to get some pressure. So you're gonna get Derek Brown back, and now you're getting a dude that could be, well, he could be everything. Like he doesn't have to be the guy now. He could do pocket pushing stuff. He's such an insane athlete. He's gonna be good on stunts. Gonna be good in the run game. Like he's gonna be so good at the role player stuff, even if he doesn't fully know what he's doing. Yeah, that'll be fun. Saints gonna get his teammate. So Scourton has that Trey Hendrickson syndrome where he plays smaller than he is, which is annoying. It's like, like dude, you're like 280 pounds, like just bull rush a dude, and when he does, it looks nice. Like if he builds his game around power versus him trying to just outrun dudes and like spin inside, he could be so much better. It's just he's just trying to be too finessing. And it's like just like put your head down, just bull rush a dude. So he has that, but talent wise, similar thing to Stewart, but not to the same extent where he's big, he's really fast and explosive, really good athlete. Has all that, and the Saints love big edges. They just love them to death. And for their D line, or for their edges, like you have Chase Young, they're probably gonna re-sign Chase Young because he has a huge void year, so you want to avoid that. They have Carl Granderson, and then it's just nothing. Like Cam Jordan wasn't that good. I think he might retire or get cut next season. His contract's kind of built to be that way. So yeah. All right, Bears. You have Ben Johnson. Why not get, in my opinion, best running back in the class? But in all seriousness, that dude's so insane. Hampton's so good. Like the main difference between him and Jency is Jency's kind of more, I guess you could say he's like shifty. Like he's the type of player where you just bounce off of him, whereas Hampton will run through you. It's a little bit of a different type of player and mentality. Like Jency's not really gonna run through you like Hampton, but you just end up bouncing off of him just because of how he runs and stuff. But Hampton, that like he'll do that. Heard this from homie Gab where just as like he runs like Saquon, and if you watch both of them, they do run similarly. So yeah, not Talent wise, it's not the same, of course, but just how they run just looks so similar. And same thing where a running back changes their whole offense. This is going to help Caleb out the most. Just teams focusing on him more. Whoever you have at O line, like it's shouldn't be as bad as it was last season. He's gonna make the O line look better, keep the offense on schedule. Because DeAndre Swift, he's not good. He's not good at running back stuff. He's fast and athletic, so of course he's gonna get some big runs, but he's not good at running back stuff. So getting a real running back now, getting your I don't want to say David Montgomery, but like if David Montgomery was athletic, I don't know, just spitballing. All right, now for the Niners. Who could they take? Yeah, it's tough. Should have their size. Or this is tough. Usually the Niners like bigger tackles. Membu. Yeah. So with the Niners thought process, it's like you just go in different directions. And for tackle wise, like Trent Williams' contract is made to be cut not for the 2025 season, but for the 2026 season. Like it's just made to be cut. It's made for him to retire. I think he kind of like, I mean, it's how the Niners are. Like they're kind of built for next season to be like their all in year or the last all in year before they have to cut some of these contracts and do all that stuff. It's just a tough choice because I don't want to do the just play on my guard or whatever. You don't really want to draft a tackle this high if they're not going to contribute, but you know what? Just go with Josh Simmons. It's not doesn't seem like normally what they would take, but athletic tackle moves really well and coming off of injury, so you could have him just sit for a year, maybe replaces McKivitz, but yeah, after next season, like he could be the dude. All right, poor Cowboys. There's no more running backs. This dude's falling. Like who's next? Like maybe wide receiver could be a choice. Not a fan. D line's tough. They're gonna go to Brian Schottenheimer. Yeah, I just don't know where you go. Another Michigan D team. Thinking about it. They're gonna have. I think the rumor is Matt Eberflus, which makes the 3 tech spot more important. So yeah, you know what? Let's just do it. Walter Nolan. Sucks under the running backs foul. Huge Hampton and Jancy fan. But why not? So Nolan's more of a smaller edge. I don't want to say he's similar to Osa. I think he's better in the run game and a much better athlete. On Ole Miss, all they asked him to do was just or slant and tackle stunt. So it was kind of a annoying watch, but this he's probably like one of the most fast and explosive DTs in the class. He's really strong, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of does similar things to Osa, but just better and could do more in the run game. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. And then Osa's also a free agent. I'm pretty sure they're gonna re-sign him. I'm assuming they're gonna re-sign him. You have Mozzie, which Mozzie's played better. They could still use a nose tackle. Just someone else. At least Walter's like a smaller dude that can play the run. Versus Osa, who he's fine when he tries. But yeah, it's getting you more stout while giving you more to free up Parsons. Because what Osa's good at is containing, doing stunts, slanting, like you know, yeah, all that type of stuff. Just role player, and just helps free up Parsons. And then when you do stunts and loop, crash, all that stuff, like you'll get pressure numbers yourself and maybe some sack opportunities. No one's good at that too. So yeah, that's gonna be nice. Grant, in my opinion, Grant's my favorite DT in the class. He's a nose tackle, but he's probably um like he is just a great athlete for his size. And so you have that where I think he's just the most dominant player versus a run. Like if you just make a highlight tape of him just killing run plays, you might get like 10 plays a game. Like this dude's insane. And it sucks because in Michigan, like yeah, Graham's better now, especially as a pass rusher. But with Michigan, he was more of just a role player where Graham will get a one-on-one. He's just holding the center and the guard and just trying to free up Graham. And there's times where he's pushing the pocket and he's just killing whoever's in front of him, like just driving him straight back to the QB without even trying much. So if you just give him more opportunities, here with the Dolphins could do a lot more tackle stunts with Sealer, which Sealer is really great at them too. It's gonna be nice. And this team's tough too. Like, also they just need to be less soft. Now Grant's not soft. That's the one thing about Grant. Helps your defense that way. For the Colts, just gonna go with the most chalky pick. Yeah, it's hard not to. It's just super chalky. All right, Falcons. Oh, there's James Pierce. Kind of another pick. I tend to make a good amount. Okay, sure, sure. Jalen Walker. This dude's really athletic. Um, extremely fast. Kind of sucks because he's a Georgia backer, so he might be one of the better linebackers in the class. Like he's really good versus a run. Don't care much about coverage because I'm not a DB guy. I'm not gonna act like I know anything about coverages. And so with the Georgia thing, like with Bama and Georgia, they usually teach their ends to play through the tackle. So you'll see a lot of like power moves, like he's trying to stab and forklift a dude and just do stuff like that where it's like you're not gonna do that the next level. And they don't really give one-on-ones or teach how to win one-on-ones. It's more like containing on the edge, stunning, slanting, blitzing, dropping, playing against the run. That's more what they teach, Georgia and Bama. So it's a little tough because like he will be a great blitzer and looper off the bat, which this team, same thing, like every team just need talent. Like it's so funny because like for maybe the last decade, they've had Grady Jarrett and the whole D line's been just Grady Jarrett and friends. Ebiketie looked better. He's another like speed rusher type dude. And so maybe with Walker you just use him like Parsons. Like you could just call him baby Parsons or whatever. Just have him play linebacker and then just pass rush or do stuff from the linebacker spot on third downs. And he's just like a defensive weapon. So he might be. It's the same issue with Dallas Turner, where Dallas Turner with Bama was kind of more of a power rusher, and they were trying to break it out of him by making him do more speed rushes and trying to win off the edge versus through tackles. That way he could, I don't want to say really replace Andrew Van Ginkel, but do what he does, but better. And so Walker might run into the same issue, so you need a good D-line coach, which they fired there, so yeah. Hopefully the replacement's better. Hopefully. Okay. Next one, James Pierce. So when I first watched James Pierce, my thought was, dang, this dude plays like Baron Browning. But I meant as a compliment. He's more of a speed rusher that has some speed and power in him. Like it's not bad, like it's pretty nice. And Baron Browning's the same way, smaller speed rusher that has some legit speed and power. So you have that tendency to try to hide him from the run game. Like he rarely played like run down snaps or short yardage stuff. So yeah. But the Cardinals do a lot of stuff with their linebackers where or edges, whatever, where they do drop him in coverage and he's athletic enough to do that. So you're gonna have that element with them. And just the same thing where let's get more talent. Please. For every single team, just need more talent. Bengals now. They're gonna resign T. Like there's no way they don't. I just can't envision a world where T's not on this team. Yeah. Whatever I do with this pick, gonna change the next few picks. Even though I'm doing this mock draft, I'm not a huge fan of how few O linemen I've taken. Trying to think. Because I'm not a huge fan of, oh, just convert this dude to guard. Not a fan of that talk. I mean, I do have Notre Dame's defense. Yeah, whatever. Malachi Starks. Yeah. Like their defense is just not that great. Have the ghost of Geno Stone, the ghost of Von Bell. Their safety spots, their cornerbacks. Some of the dudes regress. I think Dax Hill was hurt. Yeah. It's a rough situation, their secondary. So now the Seahawks. What the? Have them at tackle? You even watch these prospects? Guess not. Donovan Jackson for guard. Good guard. Athletic. All that type of stuff. Dude's good. And yeah, the Seahawks interior O line just stink. Like Bradford hits hard, plays hard. Besides that, was pretty putrid. Alright, so Buccaneers. Like, do they re-sign Gedeke? It's like, yeah, it's tough when you get to this range. Like, I want to give more teams offensive linemen. It's just tough to slot them. I'm trying to see if there's any like crazy players who are viewed as highly. I could give him Booker. For sure. I mean the Bucks, like their defense isn't that talented. Because they have that Antoine Winfield. And then yeah. Someone here worth taking. I mean, not really. Akuba? Sure. Why not? Just get him a talented safety. Yeah. It's tough. Like for their front seven, it's not a good front seven. Especially their D line. They don't really have any real one-on-one winners. Like maybe Vea, which Vea's played better. I think he got hurt and like regressed, and now he's just a better player, getting back to form. So you have him. Finally gonna take a wide receiver here. And Canty, who's a really good athlete, but they use Canty kind of like not to win one-on-ones, but just more as like a athlete. Like they'll blitz him from the linebacker spot, slant him, loop him, do stunts with them, like all that type of stuff. It's not really him winning one-on-ones, it's just him doing just athletic stuff, which he can do. Like he's a good athlete. Okay, now this might be tackle range. Here, Kevin Banks. Welcome to the Steelers. Dan Moore is a free agent. I forget who their right tackle is. Um, Blanking. Because their first round pick, I think he could play anywhere. And their center played pretty well, Zach Frazier. So I heard. So yeah, you have Moore, and then one of their guards was a free agent, former Bears guy. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Chargers. I go with Scatabo here. Let's just make it more of a real team. Their biggest issue was the interior. It was extremely putrid in that playoff game. Like Zion Johnson had no idea what he was doing. He was messing up on calls. Their center sucked. Whoever Bozeman, that dude could not do anything. It was sad, really. Like it's sad when Pipkins and Sawyer are your two best interior linemen. Oh, here Campbell. Yay. So yeah, Booker, more of a real dude, more of a technical winner, really strong. You could just say like, oh, he's doesn't have that much upside, but they just need like real dudes, no more fake dudes. Will Campbell, starting left tackle. Yeah, Campbell, Morgan, whoever plays at center, Alton Jenkins, and Zach Tom. Okay, let's do it. And Packers do love those like these type of dudes that move really well, could play inside out. What they do. I feel so bad for this team. Mike Green. Oh yeah. So for this team, running back, or I mean O line. Yeah, guards a need. It's just there's not really that much guards. Maybe cornerback could be a pick. Definitely not edge. If you take an edge, it'll be your fourth edge. DT could be a move. It's just I don't really like these DTs for him. Which I'll just put DT. Yeah. Now their defense is the one that's lacking on talent. Their offense isn't that bad. Like you have two first round picks and wide receivers are playing really well. O line's pretty nice. Guards could be better, but could upgrade in free agency or just roll with your dudes. Biggest issue was their left tackle Darisaw being out. Like talent does matter. So even if you downgrade a bit from like Darisaw to Robinson, that does change your O line. AJ McCarthy's at quarterback, and now running back could be a need, but with Hampton and Janty gone, like you could maybe draft a dude, like maybe I don't know, maybe say like Henderson or Jetkins or Ollie Gordon are better than these dudes, which I wouldn't disagree with. It's just tough, really tough. They had Byron Murphy. Let me just look at something real quick. I know, I'm just doing this off the cuff. Oh yeah, I always forget because yeah, the board. Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, I don't know much about cornerback play, but this dude looks good. It's kind of more from just seeing the DBs work in practice, where you just see like how they look when they're just in coverage, like reading the hips of the wide receiver, just like playing with leverage. Not gonna act like an expert, but he looks good at that. Um, Whatever, good in man-to-man coverage. That's the main thing, really. Texans. So funny. They had the same issue as Chargers. Interior O line just stunk. Yeah, it's like wide receiver. This could be a DT spot. Hmm. It's just tough with wide receiver because same thing as they kind of put a bit of investment into it. You have Nico Collins making, he's not really making that much money, but whatever, making money. Stephon Diggs, who they might have to repay or extend, just because he has like a 60 million cap hit and they barely have cap hit or cap space right now. So you extend them, lower that cap hit, probably gonna do something like that. And then it's just nobody. That's like their biggest issue. They just had nobody. Tank Dow's hurt. He's probably gonna be hurt for a while, which sucks. So you know what? We'll go with the Mecha Ibuka. Just because he's more like the power slot that can block. And they use Tank Dow for that sometimes, which yeah, yeah. Which sucks for him. So sure he's not the athlete that Tank Dow is, but he could do all of that blocking stuff that helps you when you're in condensed sets, and I mean wide receiver blocking matters. It does. Okay, Rams. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Man, it's just so tough because like looking at these players, it's like I really don't want to draft a lot of these players in the first. I think there's one player might get. Like with the Rams, main thing you can see is that they just well, I'm just gonna keep saying it. A lot of teams just lack talent everywhere. For the Rams though, it was more in the secondary and linebacker spots, but they don't really invest in the linebacker spots. Like their D line, I know I'm not gonna get into it, but their D line's fine enough for now. So if you do get a dude, like they're probably not gonna invest in linebacker. They could invest in the secondary. Let me just bring this up. And maybe offensive tackle. Um, I want to get a teddy bear, hurt bear. Baron could be a move. Amos, Revel, Cam Williams. I know he had a bad um playoff run, but still pretty talented. Yeah, three safeties in the first round though. I think I'll wait on it. Let's go with Cam Williams. Yeah, he's kind of like good in the run game. Another player could say like maybe doesn't have high upside or whatever, but he's someone that you could see being a starting caliber tackle, which this team could use. You have Rob Havenstein, who hasn't been that great. Alaric Jackson, and yeah, I know people are gonna hate on him because of his playoff run, but he was hurt. Hard to judge on him for that. Ooh, Mike Green here. Perfect Mike Green spot. Right. Okay. Hmm. Ravens. What happened with you? I mean, the Bills were just dominating them. Like they could. Another weird team. Then move Hamilton back to safety. I mean, you want a safety talent. I don't know why he's so far down. Nick, I mean, with that, I mean, Wari, good athlete, big, could hit hard. Um, like my favorite Penguin said, budget Derwin James. I'm just kidding. Or am I? Michael Williams. Yeah. I don't think Michael Williams is a player that could be that one-on-one player. Like all these other edges. There are guys I could see team setting up one-on-ones for, whereas Michael's kind of more of a role player, and part of it's Georgia. Like he does all the role player stuff. Like he plays 4-eye, can play inside, um, passing and rundowns. Maybe not so much in rundowns in the NFL. Probably can, but don't really want to do that to him. But they have been looking for a number 2 guy for Hutch, and I think he could be that guy. He does all the things you want, push the pocket. He can contain decently well, do stunts. They can do all of that, and play inside on passing downs too. They do have Zadarius Smith, who's another power rusher that could play inside. So just getting more talent on the D line. They also try to get Marcus Davenport too, who got hurt. I don't think he's as good of a one-on-one winner as those guys, or he's not as good of an athlete as Marcus Davenport, but it's kind of what they've been looking for. Kneecap biter. This seems gonna be weird. It's like, what do you do? Like, you're a team that I don't want to say like overachieved. You never really want to diminish a team like that, but they did a lot while lacking just a ton of talent, or at least more talent than some of these other teams. So, yeah, what good coaching and a good quarterback does. They have like 5 wide receivers hitting free agency. It's just gonna be their one dude, Terry McLaurin. Like this could be a cornerback team. They have Saren, or not Saren still. I'm gonna blank on his name. Saints cornerback. They have that dude. And you have Quan Martin. Like, yeah, their secondary room wasn't really that great. There's really no edges here I like. Linebacker could be a move, just someone that could just move. But dudes I like, I just don't know if they go that high. Like Baron. I think Baron could be the move. Yeah. Play nickel, cornerback, willing to hit, willing to tackle. Kind of one of their biggest themes. Just couldn't tackle against the Eagles. So, yeah, I mean, just do that. What does this team do? Actually, Tyleek. Let's do it. Tyleek first round pick. Which is funny because last season, I didn't like Tyleek as a prospect, but he got better. Just better all around. Biggest issue is he kind of guesses when to do things. I think he just like recognizes stuff, like how formations are, and expects when combos are happening. So he just like drops to his knee, does that type of stuff. And you can see him kind of like I don't want to say guessing, but he just like studies so much. Maybe if I have whatever. Seems like he watches film based off of how he plays, because like he sees formations, he sees things being done. He's like, all right, they're gonna do this. He ends up being wrong half the time. So who knows? He's trying his best, but super strong, super powerful. Can be a good run defender if he reads keys better. And for this team, it's tough because like they just yeah, their defense wasn't good. Secondary could tackle, which is nice. Like the back end was kind of what helped his team. Milano helps his team. Their front four was just yeah. Like Gregory Rousseau's your best player. But he's fine, but he's more of like a number two guy. Which Von Miller was supposed to be their number one guy, but he just hasn't been the same from his injuries and off-field stuff. So yeah, and Oliver's not really a one-on-one winner. Like he's nice against the run, but he's small. He's not really a good one-on-one pass rusher. He's just good on stunts, which they use them a lot. And from rewatching the Chiefs game, like they're just getting like they were getting gashed a bit until they started just blitzing a lot. And in the pass game, like they couldn't do anything. Like there's just barely any pressure. So yeah, Tylee doesn't really help you too much in the pass game, but you could probably push the pocket a bit. It's just more run defense. Maybe you get, I don't know, pass rusher later, do something. The Eagles? Do you go wide receiver or Loveland? What do you do for the Eagles? Yeah. Now it's getting to a point where I'm just like, this dude should be a day three guy. This dude's nice, cool. Day three guy, like whatever. Like who do you even draft? Quarterback. Get try to upgrade from Jalen Hurts. Psych. You can't block. Like I don't know, like the best dudes are running backs here. Like you take Harmon here. I'm just not a fan. I think Harmon's fine. Like I can see him maybe being a first rounder. It's just why? The team invested a ton into their edge spot. Um, they could get a D lineman. I just don't think there's a first round pick type dude here. Safety. Like, is this where you take a wide receiver? Yeah. Mock drafts are mock drafts are tough. Try to get an eventual replacement for Lane Johnson. Yeah. Whatever. Luther Burden. Sure. Just give him Mike Green. I just don't think I don't know. Harmon's weird because I do think Harmon is a bit more of a even front D2 where you don't really want him too gapping or doing things against the run. Not to say he's bad, he's just like fine all around. Whereas I think the Chiefs would want someone that's more stout against the run. As tackle as a need, and they invested a decent amount into it. Like tight end, get the wide receiver. I could just take wide receiver again. Let's get him another fast boy. Just don't know what you do with this team. I'll just whatever. Who cares? Amos is like probably one of the better players I've seen from here, so sure. Yeah. Here's a mock draft. Earning the award, nice. Oh whoa. Rating my draft. A plus. Yeah. Link. Well, here's the mock. Dear Travis, two Colorado dudes. That'd be so funny. Miami, Penn State, or Bill Carter, Johnson, NT, Graham, Stewart, Scourin, Hampton, Simmons, Nolan, Grant, Warren, Walker, Pierce, Starks, Jackson, Makuba, McMillan, Banks, Booker, Campbell, Thomas, Igbuka, Williams, Emanuare, Michael, Barron, Tyleek, LB3, and Amos. So yeah, probably gonna be the best mock you guys ever seen. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, blah blah blah. Peace.